Jameer, you breaking in my house? Like, are you serious?
A tale that intertwines the lives of two women, Patrice and Bianca, both victims of a man whose darkness knew no bounds. As the chilling details of their abductions and murders unfolded, the search for justice revealed a haunting past of violence and destruction. Amidst the shattered lives and unanswered questions, a community united, determined to bring light to the darkest corners. This is the story of Patrice Wilson, a dedicated nurse whose unwavering commitment to caring for others was tragically cut short. In the heart of Detroit, a city filled with dreams and struggles, Patrice Wilson was a shining beacon of hope. At 29 years old, she embodied resilience and determination, working tirelessly as a nurse at the esteemed Detroit Medical Center. With an unwavering commitment to her patients and a genuine compassion that touched lives, Patrice was revered by colleagues and loved ones alike. Her gentle nature and warm smile masked the strength that few could comprehend. Patrice preferred the solace of books over the chaos of the streets, finding solace in their pages and wisdom. However, her tranquil world was shattered when she crossed paths with Jameer Miller Sr., a man whose darkness overshadowed any light. Their ill-fated romance crumbled, leaving Patrice no choice but to sever ties. But for Jameer, rejection was an ember that fueled his rage, a storm that refused to subside. With a chilling determination, he relentlessly harassed Patrice, his sinister intentions shrouded beneath a mask, gloves, and a hoodie.
Jameer, you breaking in my house? Like, are you serious? You breaking in my house, Jameer?
Why would I break in your house?
Why are you at my door with gloves on and all that?
The disturbing encounter, caught on a humble doorbell camera, captivated the online world, but only a few recognized the danger that loomed. Concerned whispers advised Patrice to arm herself, a chilling testament to the brewing storm. On that fateful morning of May 13th, 2023, as the city stirred awake, a horrifying incident unfolded, plunging Patrice Wilson's loved ones into an abyss of despair. It was an ordinary day, the clock barely striking 7:40 a.m., when Patrice, weary from her overnight shift at Detroit Receiving Hospital, stepped into the world outside. Little did she know that danger lurked in the shadows, waiting to strike. The chilling image captured by surveillance cameras revealed an eerie figure, disguised beneath a deceptive blonde wig, approaching her with malevolent intent. In a heart-wrenching act of violence, Patrice was coerced to change seats in her sleek black 2020 Lincoln Nautilus SUV, the sinister stranger whisking her away, a prisoner within her own vehicle. The news of Patrice's abduction shattered her family and friends, their hearts heavy with worry and desperation. Rosalind Livingston, Patrice's mother and colleague at the hospital, clung to hope, praying that her beloved daughter would be found in time to celebrate Mother's Day together, a glimmer of solace amidst the anguish. She fervently wished that the kidnapper's heart would soften, allowing Patrice to return to the embrace of her young son, the innocent life left shattered in her absence. The phone call, abruptly severed, served as a chilling reminder of the sinister forces that snatched Patrice away, leaving behind only unanswered questions and unyielding grief. Tragedy struck with a force that no mother should ever endure as the sun rose on that dreaded Sunday, May 14th. Patrice Wilson, a beacon of light extinguished too soon, was discovered lifeless within the confines of her own vehicle, a stark reminder of the darkness that had claimed her. The apartment complex in Novi, a distant suburb that stood as a haunting echo of her once vibrant life, became the grim stage for her final act. The cold reality of her murder, marked by the harrowing presence of multiple gunshot wounds, shook the community to its core. Headlines screamed with disbelief as the news spread, leaving a perplexing question dangling in the air. Who would dare abduct a nurse from the very sanctuary she called her workplace, only to snuff out her light? Patrice's colleagues and the surrounding community were gripped by fear, their sense of safety shattered, for the malevolent presence responsible for her demise still roamed free, their motive a terrifying enigma. Was this an act of random violence, or did the perpetrator harbor a connection to the innocent soul they had taken? As the police delved into the depths of this nightmarish crime, a sinister figure emerged from the shadows. Jamir, an ex-boyfriend who had relentlessly tormented Patrice, became the focal point of their investigation. Their suspicions, honed by the haunting trail of harassment, propelled them into a relentless manhunt to bring him to justice. Armed with search warrants and propelled by a burning determination, law enforcement swiftly detained the alleged killer, the pieces of the puzzle beginning to fall into place. The journey toward truth and closure had only just begun, as the chilling tale of Patrice Wilson's abduction and murder weaved its way into the annals of the city's darkest chapters. As Jamir's face flooded the news, the public rallied behind the authorities, determined to bring this violent criminal to justice. The Detroit police chief wasted no time in painting a grim portrait of the man they sought, revealing a rap sheet adorned with gun and drug charges, assault, drunk driving, and eluding police. The shadow of domestic violence loomed over his past, casting a chilling pall over the unfolding investigation. The weight of scrutiny bore down on Jamir's conscience, compelling him to surrender himself, accompanied by legal counsel. In a decisive moment, the long arm of the law clasped tightly around him, ensuring that he would face the consequences of his actions. While facing a myriad of weapons and drug charges from a separate incident, unrelated to Patrice's harrowing ordeal, Jamir found himself held on a staggering $1 million bond. Yet, as the wheels of justice turned, the specific charges related to Patrice's abduction and murder remained undisclosed, their unveiling eagerly awaited by those touched by her tragic fate. The unbearable weight of grief weighed heavy on Patrice's mother, who had already endured the anguish of losing her 15-year-old son to a heart-wrenching hit-and-run accident in 2003. The tight-knit community of nurses in Detroit stood united in their sorrow, their hearts heavy with the loss of a kind and caring soul. Colleagues who had shared their days alongside Patrice couldn't help but be deeply saddened by the unfathomable tragedy that had befallen her. The DMC, Detroit Receiving Hospital, where Patrice had dedicated her compassionate spirit, offered solace in a heartfelt statement, extending their condolences to a grieving family, friends, and fellow colleagues. Within those walls, she wasn't merely a co-worker, she was a beloved friend whose memory would forever live in the hearts of the DMC family. As the news of Jamir's involvement in Patrice's abduction and murder reverberated throughout the city, a dark cloud of suspicion cast its shadow over an unsolved mystery that had haunted the hearts of many. Bianca Chanel Green, a 24-year-old pregnant nursing student, had vanished without a trace over a decade ago, her last known moments fading into the echoes of March 25, 2011. Bianca's connection to Jamir, as his former girlfriend and the mother of his child, raised unsettling questions. Her family revealed a harrowing tale of her year-long struggle to escape Jamir's abusive clutches, a desperate attempt to find safety and sanctuary from his torment. They shared how she had relocated and hidden from him, consumed by a paralyzing fear that gripped her very soul. The haunting familiar face of Jamir on the news reignited the painful emotions that had plagued Bianca's family for years. Their hopes for closure mingled with the agony of uncertainty. As investigators delved deeper into Jamir's past, a disturbing pattern emerged, exposing a police report filed by another ex-girlfriend who claimed he had slashed her tires, an unsettling act of aggression. A trail of violence against women illuminated the dark corners of his history. On June 1st, 2023, the weight of justice bore down upon Jamir as he faced a multitude of charges. First-degree murder, felony murder, carjacking, armed robbery, felon in possession of a firearm, and 5 counts of felony firearm. A not guilty plea was entered on his behalf, cementing his fate as he was remanded without the possibility of bond. The intertwining stories of Patrice and Bianca now painted a chilling portrait of a man whose malevolence knew no bounds, leaving a trail of shattered lives and unanswered questions in his wake. On July 3rd, Jamir Miller, already facing charges in connection with Patrice's abduction and murder, appeared in 21st District Court on additional charges stemming from a separate case. A litany of accusations weighed heavily against him as he confronted 14 counts related to the alleged discovery of drugs and firearms within his apartment. The charges included delivering, manufacturing cocaine, delivering, manufacturing methamphetamine, delivering and manufacturing a quantity of cocaine below 50 grams, 2 counts of being a felon in possession of a firearm, 2 counts of being a felon in possession of ammunition, and 7 felony firearm violations. The undercover officer from Van Buren Township, specializing in drug enforcement, recounted the events leading to the search of Miller's residence on April 5th. The chilling inventory of findings included narcotics, firearms, and ammunition, indicative of a dangerous existence within those walls. A 9mm Glock 19 and a .45 caliber Glock 30 were among the weapons discovered, one hidden in a closet and the other concealed within a bedroom dresser drawer. The authorities also confiscated substances suspected to be methamphetamine, heroin, fentanyl, crack cocaine, and an assortment of unidentified pills. According to reports, a bag of suspected drugs was found prominently displayed on the kitchen counter, further solidifying the case against Miller. Judge Richard Hammer, Jr., carefully assessing the evidence presented, determined that sufficient probable cause existed to bind Miller over to the Wayne County Circuit Court. The next court date has been scheduled for July 10th, where the full weight of justice will continue to bear down on a man entangled in a web of heinous crimes. As we reflect on the harrowing events that unfolded in the lives of Patrice Wilson and Bianca Chanel Green, we are reminded of the importance of standing against the darkness that threatens our communities. Their stories serve as a stark reminder of the need for unity, vigilance, and unwavering support for those who find themselves trapped in the clutches of fear and violence. Let us come together, honor their memory, and vow to create a safer world for all. Share your thoughts and reflections on this chilling tale in the comments below. How do stories like these impact your perspective on personal safety and the need for community action?